And here we are. Avocado, saltfish, coconut bake. Coconut bake made by Mama Lulu.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And to share a cup of coffee
Very
with me
tasty.
is the mighty Tony.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers, brother.
Yes,
Give me a
sir.
knock on that glass, boy.
Yes. Yes.
Tony, it was great having you with us in Trinidad.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't say it was because it continues,
Yes.
but it was really, we had good days. Good
Sure
days
did.
of
Sure
good
did.
friendship.
Yes. Sure did. Wonderful days, man.
We had to retreat to this back room here because there's quite a lot of activity going on with CPEP out there. You know, cutting the grass and whistles blowing and cars passing. So we kind of retreated here. So Tony, before you came to Trinidad, we had a conversation one night that explained that in your younger years, you worked in the cinema industry.
Mm-hmm.
You called some names that I never knew existed as cinemas
Yeah.
in the country, right?
Yes.
So I just want to, this really is about Tony and his youthful years in the cinema industry. Of course, you know, with social media these days, I don't know how many
There's
people go
not
to
much cinemas anymore.
But Trin City has 8 cinemas, eh?
Yeah, well, that's...
Movieton, I don't know how many they have, and South has a couple.
Yes.
But what was it like back in your days when you worked in the cinema industry?
Well, totally different than now. Because the amount of cinemas it have all over. Right now, there's a few places in Trinidad, like you say, have Movie Town, with about 8 cinemas and all of that. Never had it so close. You know, back in Port of Spain, you had Strand, you had Roxy, you had Vistorama, National 1, National 2, Pyramid, Royal. These were different cinemas in different locations. And far as you go further, if you come up to Sawa, you find in Tenapuna, you find Eros, you find President, you know, Presidente, I think it was, I can't remember.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
But the further you go, the more cinemas you find. And as for me, I think I work in maybe 3/4 of those cinemas. Yeah, I was living in Maraval at the time, and I go as far as Pinal, as far as Twilight Driving in Marabella.
You had your own transport?
No, I used to travel that. Yeah, I work in Metro in Cuba, and it was fun doing it, you know, all those years, but I was young then. And the thing about it, and those days didn't have the kind of thing that's going on now, you know. So as a young man, I could have traveled anytime, anyway. It wasn't going to bother me. But I just enjoy doing it in the cinema thing, and it was fun for me. Yeah, and I started out at an early age, you know, maybe 13 or so. Yeah, 13 years or so, and I enjoy doing that.
What did you do in the cinema in those days at that early age?
At that, well, you know, they have your, most of the time at a younger person like me with 13, 14 years, they put you after each movie, each show, you know, like they have 3 shows a day. There's 12:30, 4:30, and 8:30. And after each show, you gotta clean the cinema for the other show.
Okay.
Like when the movie finished, they give you half an hour break. They clean up the cinema, sweep up, do. So mostly that was my part until I started to climb in age. So then they started to put me by the door to cut tickets, to pick up tickets when people purchase. And I do that for quite a while. But that was really my thing, really, to cut tickets from, because then you meet a lot of people, a lot of different people. And like Astor Theatre, Astor Cinema, you had two theaters in one.
That's in Woodbrook?
In Woodbrook, that's right. I think was the only one theater that carried 2 movies screen at the time.
And how did this operate really?
Yeah, well, there was a main theater, which is to show the English movies, and a mini theater, which is handle the Indian movies, right? The mini theater used to take like roughly like about about 200 to 250 people. It wasn't that big. It was a nice small screen, but people enjoyed it anyhow. And the big one that showed the English movie. Okay, that was a regular size movie theater. Yeah, a regular size. And I even worked in the Roxy too for a while, Roxy Cinema, Deluxe of course, and a couple of the drive-ins like Twilight, Highlight. I used to be hanging there right through. I enjoy doing that. So I would say those days I could call myself the movie man.
The movie man, boy.
Yeah. So I enjoy doing it, man.
So when you had to travel, let's say like to Penal, I mean, what hour would you leave and return back home in Maraval?
Well, those days were just hangout days, yeah, not really much. So if you have, well, I don't think Sunbeam used to have
Was it named Sunbeam?
Sunbeam Penal, yes, Sunbeam and Penal.
A movie, cinema?
Yes,
Sunbeam in Penal?
Yeah, and Penal, yes.
You could remember where exactly?
That was going back on, I can't remember that road going back then.
What Sunbeam? First time I'm hearing about Sunbeam.
No, I can't remember that road, but it
Okay.
was Sunbeam. And the owner was a guy called Kuber Singh. Kuber Singh was the guy.
I wonder if he's the same man who has been, having these one-man protests. I wonder, Kubar Singh.
Kuber Singh, yes. But
Okay.
anyway, yeah, and I don't know. But it was fun. And like you asked, you would leave home. I leave home like to get there for 4:30. We leave home by 2 o'clock, 2:30, and you get there on time. Yeah, but I didn't do it for a long time, a long period. No, I didn't do that for too long. Yeah, because I find the traveling was a bit stressful. But I did it for fun. Yeah, just to try to see how it's gonna work out.
And it was safe in those days to be out that late,
Very safe. There, it was no problem, man. The only thing gonna frighten you is your own self. Yeah, you see a shadow in my trunk, but otherwise it was good. Everybody, was a one love thing.
So what was your preference of shows in those days? Westerns?
Yeah, I liked a
detectives?
lot of westerns. Yeah,
I think-
Westerns was it. But you know what? Mostly the ageable people used to go see the westerns and things. Young people didn't really into much western. They're more into karate.
Yes.
The kick up days there was with Chin Sing and Wang Yu and those guys.
Yeah, Wang Yu,
You
yeah.
know?
One-arm swordsman and all that stuff.
Swordsman, that's right. And then a lot of people go for Indian movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you know what? Even the Negro people used to look at the movies. It's surprised to know Indian movies. A lot of them used to come and look at the Indian movies. It was fun for me. I liked seeing the different people coming and having fun, man.
I used to date a young lady, and she was a mixed person, and she would often, ask me to take her to Astor Cinema
Okay.
to see Indian movies.
All right.
I was kind of more intrigued with the fact that she was choosing Indian movies.
Indian movies. Yes, yes.
Maybe she was very emotional. Indian movies, they
All
tend
of
to.
it. Yeah, you're right. Especially long time Indian movies.
Yes.
It's not like now with a lot of dancing and a lot of fighting and all this kind of different metrics they have. It's a different thing now.
You remember some of those stars in those days? Dharmendra.
Dharmendra, Amitabh Bachchan, Rajendra Kumar, Jitendra,
Shashi
Rajesh Khanna, Shashi Kapoor. Good stars.
Pran, what about Pran?
But Pran was the bad man. That was the big crook man. That was the boss of the screen. But when you watch him and he dressed, the man was a dresser. He was a dasher.
But I think I did once a little background on Pran.
Yeah.
And he was highly educated,
Very, very educated.
A very highly educated man.
Yes, very educated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but all in all, but even these actresses long time was really nice. You had Hema Malini Mumtaz, you had Sarah Banu, Vajanti Mala, Rekha, nice looking girls, but they did well. Yeah.
So what would have been the price to go to see a show in those days?
Well, you know what? I can remember in my days when I was much younger, at the age of 10, 11, if you had $1, where I was living in Maraval, hear this, if you had $1, you could go to the movies, look at the movie, take the bus to and from home to the movies and back. and also get a popcorn and a drink too with that $1.
And could you have a date with that $1?
No, you have to have an extra dollar for that date. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that $2 gonna take you on your date and get popcorn for you on your date too. And
Tell me
have fun.
something. The census board in those days, it would have been the police commissioner, it would have been maybe high-ranking Christian,
Yeah.
cleric or whatever, you know.
Yes.
How you had any interaction with such people?
Yeah, well, at a certain time I did, because I started to do operating. I went in as an apprentice after. I just like it. Well, after I get so tired with this in front of the door cutting ticket, and I started to go to the operating room and I started to talk to the operator, the main man, and he said, sure, come on. When you're done, come and learn, man. So on a morning when they have a censor to censor the movie, you know, so this is to be like, if it's an Indian movie, they have a pundit, a police commissioner, someone from the fire department. Funny, right? And even the owner of the cinema, he there, and the manager.
But why a fire officer?
I had no
Was that to keep the heat off the screen?
I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I had no idea why a fire officer, but he used to be there. You know, I guess maybe the police officer, he being there, so they decide to have a fire officer.
Right.
Yeah. So.
But you know, a lot of people, I joined the Express in 1967, and I believe in the 70s, there was this drive to be independent of the census board. Okay, independent of the census board, in the sense that people felt that they were old enough to appreciate art, okay, cinematic art,
Yeah.
and therefore they didn't feel that a body, just one single body of high-ranking officers or whatever you want to call them, would dictate their taste of the art industry. And I believe that censorship really kind of trailed off. I have no idea if I'm saying the right thing now about lack of censorship, because movies now have evolved into what you call a modern day living. So you hear cursing on the screen.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
you see a lot of nudity on the
Yes.
screen.
Yes.
So you wonder, you know, this drive for an independent taste, you know, an uncontrolled appetite for preserving your integrity in art,
Yeah.
has allowed so much of freedom. But I wonder if it has done any good. You think it has done any good, really? For instance, what's it like in New York? In New York with shows and whatnot.
Yeah, well, in New York, it's like the same. It's around the world thing. Fast, I can see it, even in India too. You know, I think the movie industry, I don't mess with it much. I don't watch it. If I had to watch a movie, I don't look at a movie, so because I rather go and look at a YouTube where I could look at something else. You know, you watch it someone fishing, because I think the movies now, I don't think that is the censorship now is not really working. I don't even know if they censor.
I don't feel so.
I don't think so.
I myself don't feel so.
Yeah, I don't think, because for the things that I see that going on in movies, and the things that it's not good. It's not good now. So like, to answer that question, I don't feel it really work. Yeah, I don't think it's going on anymore. I think they stopped that censorship. Yeah.
So Tony, tell me, these Indian movies, were they? Well, I mean, we didn't have a group over here producing. We did have in later years some local attempt to put something on the screen, right?
That's right. Yes.
But in those days, when you had all those Indian movies, how did the cinema owners obtain them?
Well, there is a place called India Overseas, and not because the name India Overseas International, they used to store a lot of English movies there also. a lot of Mahabir and all of those people who had owned the Deluxe and all of those places, they never show Indian movies, but their movies were still, there's a vault in that area down there in the St. James area that store in all the movies, Indian movies, English movies. So they call it India Overseas International Limited.
Okay.
Yeah, those is
When you say St. James, where in St. James?
right behind the police barracks. Actually, that place was joined together with the police barracks was on one side, and there was in the other side. But now that gone through, there's no more movies because there's so much DVDs and all this. Even in the cinema here, I don't even think they have those films running anymore. So somebody who really wanted to interested themselves in learning to operate and trying to go to tread up a machine to learn to operate, there's no work for them anymore, right? Because everything got more modernized now.
Okay.
So that place down there is no longer running anymore. They don't exist anymore. So I think the police park extended and they take over that whole area. But it was fun working there, man. I really enjoyed those days.
So tell me about New York. In your time over there, you've been there in New York how many years living?
Going in 23 years.
23 years. Have you ever witnessed the making of any movies on the streets?
Yes, like in Manhattan, but I never really stand up and look at it, but there you see there's big trucks, you know there's the actors coming in. Like they was making one movie, a TV series where this girl called Priyanka Chopra used to act. She used to act as a police officer. And they just done shoot an episode of that. I don't remember the name of the movie, but I think it was like about 2 years ago. It was running on a mini series on the TV.
Did you ever see any episode?
No, I tell you, I really never interested.
Oh yeah, you did say that. Yes.
Yeah, and she now done a scene, and she was about to go in to her car with the security and same time I was walking.
What's the name of this person?
Priyanka Chopra.
Indian.
Yes, an Indian from India. And she now done shoot, and like maybe about 10 steps away, she just went into the car and the car moved over with her with the security. I was like 10 steps away from.
You might have been in the movies all
I might have been in the movies.
Yeah.
You know, in Manhattan City, yeah. But when I asked the security, I said, "Who's that girl going there?" He said, "That's a movie star. She acts as a police officer and so and so and so." I said, "What's her name?" He said, "Priyanka Chopra."
Okay.
So I almost bounced up to Priyanka Chopra in Manhattan.
She would have taken you for Pran or someone.
Somebody, she might have put me as a big crook in one of those movies. Yeah.
Shanta would not have been happy.
I know, right? Yeah.
You would have had to deal with Shanta then.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Yes. So did you also go to those what do you call them? The drive-ins over here?
Yes.
You had to work there?
Yeah, I did a little short stint in those places, but I was like work for a little while and then I hit the road again. There's a song say "On the Road Again" by Willie Nelson.
No,
I was the kind of person.
How does it go?
No, I don't know, but that's the title. The title of the song is "On the Road Again."
On the road again.
Yeah, so I was like that, you know. If I work a week in one place and I don't like it there, it's not going my way, I change somewhere else.
You had that privilege to make that choice?
Yeah, because you know what you're doing, you know where you're going into. If you go to the manager or the boss and you say, you would like to get a job, you leave Astor and you go to Strand and you say, I'd like to get a job. You have any experience where you know about working in? Yeah, of course, I know, come from Astor. I used to cut ticket, I used to be a cleaner, or I used to be a cafe attendant, or even operating. They say, okay, sure. When you can start? Right away. So it's not like something you had to have book sense, you just walk in and they give you a job. Because as long as you have a little experience, that's what they want.
You mentioned there about cafeterias. I mean, in our days, it was never like that, the earlier years, right? I remember paying 25 cents to go to Palladium or Monarch, and that was in house. I think Pitt must have been about 10 cents or 15 cents. Huh?
10 cents.
10 cents, right?
Yeah.
And you would have bought your Coke outside.
Yeah, that's the next 10 cents.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And you bought the
A
guy
pack
will,
of, a pack of popcorn. A bag of popcorn.
right, and then the Chinese man will come in with his little packet with the little channel, you know,
Yes,
the thing they
yes, yes.
extended,
And roll up, yeah.
roll
yes,
up
Yes.
channel, and it was nice channel too.
Yes.
It was soft, eh?
Nice, tasty.
And then you had the hard channel.
Mm-hmm.
You had nuts in this little thing, right?
Yeah.
But then they introduced cafeterias,
Cafeterias.
which was smart, eh?
Yes.
It was a good business
Mm-hmm.
move.
Yeah.
So, but which cinema would you have rated to be the best that we had in Trinidad?
Wow. But Globe was good when they renovated Globe. In
That's on
College
St. Vincent Street there, yeah?
Yes. Globe was a good one.
At Green Corner and St. Vincent Street?
Yes. Yes. Globe was really good. And well, Astor was my home.
Astor was home.
Yeah, that was my home. I do most of my work in there. So I say there was a good one too. And
Sorry?
Vistarama was also good.
Where was Vistarama?
That's on right close to Globe. What's the name of that street? St. Vincent Street?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that the one that became national in the long run?
When did change? Yeah, I think so. I think yes. Was National 1, National 2.
Yes.
Vistarama was it's somewhere opposite Batu car service on St. Vincent Street.
Okay. Strand Cinema was a pretty
That was
crowd draw too, eh?
Deluxe was a good one around the Savannah by the museum.
I think Deluxe really at the point in time was a Deluxe
Cups.
edition, eh?
It was good. Really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And coming up on the eastern side here, Eros was nice.
Yes.
Eros was a nice.
That's where Food Masters is now.
Yes.
Right, in Mokoya there.
And even San Fernando did some work with their Metron Palace in San Fernando. It wasn't bad either.
Aruka had any?
Aruka.
Not really.
Not to mind, man.
Arima had one though.
Yeah, that
Was it Windsor?
Windsor in Arima.
Ah, yes, Windsor.
Yes, Windsor.
And there was Ritz also in Barataria. Ritz.
Barataria, yes. But there was a kind of bit of rundown something. But
Mhm.
they tried to bring it up, but I think
Then you had Besson Street had Odeon.
Odeon, that's right.
Odeon
They had
Cinema.
Royal. Yeah, those
Charlotte Street there.
Yeah, those cinemas is the Charlotte at Westerns.
Yeah.
That was a Western cinema.
My mother took me a lot to Royal Cinema.
Mm-hmm.
And opposite, just a little higher up than Rosary Boys,
Mm-hmm.
you had Pyramid.
Pyramid, that's right. Yes. So you remember a lot too. And and Diego Martin had Starlight Driving.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about in this Fall Park area? You had Highway Driving?
That was Kedona.
Kedona.
Yeah, that was Kedona.
That was you know what was funny about Kedona? They introduced this $10 a car load.
Yeah.
Right? But in those days, I had a lot of mosquitoes there, brother. So for $10, you're getting a good run for your money with mosquitoes.
Yes, mosquitoes. When you come out, you regret going inside.
Yeah, boy, for $10, man.
$10,
But then they used to bring this speaker, hook it up on the car.
Hook it on the car, yes.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not playing loud enough, everybody's straining there, pushing against each other to hear, you know?
Yeah, yes,
Right?
You're right. But with all of that was fun.
It was fun, yes. Yeah, it was safe fun.
It was safe fun.
You know,
yes.
safe fun, real safe
Those
fun.
days a family could go out and enjoy, and you drive back home 11, 12, 1, whatever time, and you're safe.
You know you're safe, man, yeah.
I'm sure you said that yourself.
You ever worked in Cedrus? Cedrus had one cinema, you know.
Citrus, no.
Yeah, but
I never.
I think it must have been.
I don't even know the name of that.
Was it Tivoli boy? You ever heard of a cinema named Tivoli? I have to ask Mama Lou.
I hear the name, but I don't think I ever seen
Yeah,
that.
we'll have to follow up on that.
Yeah.
Yes, Tony, well, it was really nice doing this. I want to present you with those two books there.
These two books?
Yes, in this very room here.
Mm-hmm.
In this very room, we produced this Lyndon Batiste. The one on your right hand,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's Oh My Testicles, done by Lyndon. It's a tale of what? Entanglement.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is Jewels of the Caribbean, in your left hand there, West Indian short stories.
Mm-hmm.
They were both produced along with other books in this very room here. In this very room. So I want to give you that, Tony, and hope you would enjoy it.
Thank you so much.
I would have loved to
appreciate
give you
it.
a copy of the Ghost of Korra,
Ghost of Korra.
but I am left with only one.
Yeah, and you know what? I will go on.
You can get it on Amazon.
I will go on Amazon.
And Linden's books are also on Amazon.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You know, you could get them on Amazon. I'll give you the name
Mm-hmm.
of the books. Yeah. So Tony, thank you very much for this this little movie trail that we have left.
Yep.
You know, all these westerns that we saw in our young days.
Yeah.
Tarzan movies were also very popular.
They were hits. Yeah.
Lou Costello and Barabat and Lou Costello.
Yes. Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis.
That's right.
Lloyd, the silent movies.
The silent movies.
Yes. I mean, I wasn't that. I was a lot younger those days, you know, when it's silent movies. But I remember seeing some of those silent movies. Harold Lloyd and Charlie Chaplin and those
Charlie
guys.
Chaplin, yeah.
But Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, like you say,
they were all fun in those days.
They were good.
You talk about going 130,
Yeah.
12:30, 1:30.
Yeah.
You know, they also introduced, to my regret, they also introduced, I think it was a deluxe. Was it an 11 o'clock? 11 p.m.
Early morning.
11 p.m. show.
Late show.
Late show, that's what they call it, late show.
Late show. That's
Boy,
right.
I decided, let me treat myself to a late show.
Yes.
And then I have to walk into Korra.
Wow.
And that was a real disaster because it was such utter rubbish. Then to travel from Port of Spain to Korra Junction and walk in about 2:30, 3 in the morning
Oh boy.
to get up to go back to work.
That was terrible.
Yeah, I said, never me again on a late show.
Yeah. You know where's the show a lot of late shows? National 2 and National 1. But they mostly used to have karate movies.
Karate.
A lot of karate, Chinese movies, yeah. Double, eh? Doubles used to see not one but two movies for the price of one. Yeah. But it wasn't long, and one karate might have been like about an hour and 20, 25 minutes. So make it up there. That's two Indian movies in one. Yeah, because the Indian movie is very long.
Yeah.
2.5 to 3 hours. Yeah, because in that one Indian movie, again, like about 7, 8 songs in a movie.
You know, there was a joke given by a Canadian guy, I think it was. He said that he was traveling to India via India Airlines, right?
Yeah.
And when they got over New Delhi, the plane kept circling the airport. And he called the stewardess and he said, why is it that for the last half hour we're still circling, and we can't touch down yet?
Yeah.
She said, oh, the movie's not over yet, sir.
Oh, oh gosh.
I just tell you, they used to make a lot of...
Yeah.
But the Americans did too, In those days, they opened a cinema called Maz, right there in El Dorado. Most of these old cinemas...
I remember hearing that name, Maz.
That was just about 2 miles down from us,
Oh, really?
So it brought it close. The cinema became closer to us than Palladium or Mona in Tunapuna.
Yes.
So when you went to Maz, it was a treat because you just came down the hill from Korra, got to Maz. But most of these places have been converted into assembly, faith assembly.
Church.
Churches, yes.
Yes.
I was going to say something. The Americans also brought in what they call a serial. And the serial used to last about 3 hours.
Okay.
And those bad guys in the serials, they died only at the end of the show.
At the end of it, yeah.
But they'll be fighting and can't die.
During the whole movie, they're making all the back, and at the end of the movie.
Yeah, then you see them die. You say, well, the movie's coming down there.
Coming down there.
Right.
Well, like you say about those church, most of the cinemas turn into churches. And you're right there, because right now the Astor is a church.
Okay.
They turned the Astor, and they didn't change anything there. I passed there, what day it was, I went by my sister in Woodbrook, and we take a walk there, because she lived just about a minute from Astor.
Okay.
1 minute actually. So when I pass there, man, I see the Astor, and it's looked the same way. It's the only thing about it, it's a church. It's not a cinema anymore. And it bring back some serious memory there, man. Yeah, because as I can tell you, as Astor, I work most of the time. As longest I stay there. And like I still see when I used to be out there, it bring back some memory. The building is the same. They just change the color and they turn it into a church.
Yes. I believe the one in called Odeon in Besson Street.
It's a church also.
Also, right?
That's Deliverance Temple now.
Okay, okay. Then Ritz Cinema in Barrett, I believe that has been converted to
Into a church also.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So most of those big buildings, that's what it
Well,
is.
they have the capacity, yeah?
Yes, and it could take people because it was a cinema, and they don't have those cinemas running anymore.
That's right.
Like you say, they're in Movie Town now.
Yeah, yeah.
So what are they gonna do? They can make some money by selling it or something like that.
Tony, one more final
Yeah, sure, no
thing.
problem.
You said that you lived in Maraval, right?
Yeah.
A lot of local jockeys came out of Maraval.
Yes. No.
You remember some of them?
Yes. A lot of good ones too. Like the Hasrana brothers, Reno and Francis. There was Cy Joseph. There was Mike Lutchman. There were David and Michael Lutchman. Their father was also a jockey. So a lot of good ones come out. There was Abraham Joseph also came out from Cy Joseph. I just mentioned. So a lot of good jockeys came out from Maraval. I wanted to be one too, but as you can see, well, I don't know what I could have really ride.
The horse would have protested.
Oh, and definitely. That was my thing really, because when I started to go to the races, I was like small too, and I see these guys, and I know they're living in Maraval, and they was like role models to me, and I said, wow, I want to be Hasrana brothers, and then when I see them winning races, I said, I want to be a jockey, man. But I might have been the horse, not the jockey.
Yeah, okay. So when you came in the last 3 weeks that you've been here, you traveled through Maraval since you've been back?
Funny, I just reached the furthest I reached was by the Queen's Park Savannah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get the time. I really wanted to go there because I have all my relatives live up there.
Yes.
Because the Sirju is a big thing in Maraval, we have a lot of relatives up there.
Right. You would have been surprised to see the development there.
Yeah, because
it's quite developed in Maraval now,
Yeah, last year I came and I spent 2 days in October. I was here in October. I only stayed 2 days actually. And I just passed through there and I was amazed to see. I have my cousin. He bought out everything up there. Everything he bought. So,
yes.
And some big, huge places they put up there.
Yes.
Really nice, man. I'm not Maraval. I love it. Like Sana said, I love it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, Tony White, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Let's see what we can do again with these cups.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to have you home with us.
Yes, it's a pleasure
Yeah,
being
man.
here, and thank you for having us.
Yes, sir. All the best to you, man.
Thank you
Safe
so
journey
much.
back to New York
Thank
later.
you, sir. Thank you so much.
And we'll keep in touch, okay?
Definitely, Godspeed.